Ya enam veti hantaram yaschainam manyate hatam obautau navijanito nayam hanti na hanyate. Chinikam with Amitabh or Tabu was my first big budget Hindi Bollywood film. Finally, my debut in Bengali, Ethiopijan. It just so happens that here in West Bengal, I tend to have more negative roles. I believe Bengalis in their soul are artists. I wish I could speak Bengali. Dave and I are jumping around in a pool of indigo water. When this film first came to me, I said, yes, I will do this movie as long as Dave looks deep into my eyes and sings to me once again. Itna mushkil industry hai, itna intense industry hai. Or backing name, who knows? My next film might be my last.
তার জার্নিটা শুরু হয়েছিল 2007 সালে প্রথমবার ডেবিউ হয় চিনিকামে বড় বড় অভিনেতার সঙ্গে অভিনয় করেছেন বলিউডে এবং তারপর টলিউডেও তাকে দেখা গিয়েছে না তিনি ভারতীয় তো নন এমনি তিনি আমেরিকান কিন্তু তা সত্ত্বেও ভারতকে ভালোবেসে এখানেই তার বেশি আনাগোনা আমার সঙ্গে আজকে রয়েছে অ্যালেক্স ওনিল প্রথমেই অ্যালেক্স ওয়েলকাম টু দ্য ওয়াল
কেমন আছেন বিহু
থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ ভালো আছি তুমি কেমন আছো
बढ़िया ভালো আছি
Oh my god so how many languages do you know
सिर्फ एक सिर्फ अंग्रेजी बोल सकता हूँ लेकिन थोड़ी थोड़ी हिंदी हर दिन अभ्यास करता हूँ लेकिन मुझे मालूम है मेरा एक्सेंट थोड़ा अजीब है और मेरा वोकैबुलरी इतना छोटे है तो कोशिश कर रहा हूँ लेकिन बंगाली में सिर्फ 2-3-4 शब्द मालूम है तो
इंग्लिश के लिए आपने कोई कोर्सेज लिया है
नो सिर्फ मेरे फिल्म्स और मेरे डायरेक्टर्स और मेरे स्क्रिप्ट्स तो मेरा best teacher has been necessity. So when I have a script, when I have dialogues, that's when I learn. So Devi Chaudharani, as you guys have seen, taught me a bit of Bengali.
Lovely. Yeah. That's so nice.
Yeah.
2 films have been released in this puja. Devi Chaudharani and also Raghu Dakat. How are you feeling right now? What's your feeling?
Wonderful. The response is phenomenal. These are 2 very, very important films for me. बहुत दिलचस्प films है और मेरे लिए इतना important है क्योंकि reunion films है.
Okay.
Devi Chaudharani मेरा reunion बम्बोदा के साथ और Raghu Dakat Dev के साथ. तो they're both like family. They're both wonderful films, and hopefully you guys have been enjoying both of them in the theaters during this pujo. It's wonderful to have pujo releases and Shubho Sharadya. I hope I hope it's been part of a happy puja for you all.
And is this your first time at puja in Kolkata?
No, this is my second time.
Oh.
The first time I was here in Kolkata for puja was with Golan Daj, and we had such a wonderful time with that film, and people were so supportive because it was such a positive story, even though I was not so positive in the film.
I will come to that.
We'll come to that.
Yeah, of course we will come to that. But before that, just let me ask you, are you Scottish by birth?
I'm not. Do I look Scottish? No, Irish.
Irish.
Yes.
So.
Scottish would be Mick, like McDonald, but very close. Not very far. Scotland and Ireland are not very far apart. They're both way up north, where it rains a lot and there's not a whole lot of sun.
And Indian people are so much familiar with Ireland because of cricket.
Yes, of course. Well, look, Ireland is a beautiful, beautiful place. My ancestors came from Ireland, which is why I have O'Neill as a last name. O'Neill is my screen name. But a long time ago, they emigrated to the United States. So I'm half American and I'm half Dutch. My mom
your
is Dutch.
nationality is American, right?
My nationality is American and Dutch. I have 2 nationalities.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
And just tell me about your India visit and when did you come to India and your first breakthrough at Bollywood and everything?
Long ago.
2007?
Well, yeah, you mentioned in your introduction, Chinikam with Amitabh or Tabu was my first big budget Hindi Bollywood film.
And how did you get that opportunity?
Well, before that, I was an actor on stage. I did 10 years of theater in the US. I studied acting in the US, and I was traveling through India, and I ended up doing an ad, and the director of that ad put me in his film, and that was Chinikam. And then after that, I did a couple of more films, and then I did Nach Baliye, which was an experience, a challenge. And it wasn't until Chittagong I think my 10th or 12th film when I was first introduced to West Bengal, to Kolkata. So it's a Hindi film with Nawazuddin Siddiqui, Manoj Bajpayee, beautiful, beautiful movie. If you haven't seen it, please watch Chittagong. Such a wonderful film that launched the careers of so many excellent actors, including Rajkumar Rao and so many others. And we shot that here in West Bengal, here in Kolkata, and I fell in love with the city, and I've been in love with it ever since. And then Beau's Dead or Alive, once again with Rajkumar Rao, we shot that here. And then finally, my debut in Bengali, Eti Obhijan.
Eti Obhijan by Srijit Mukherjee.
Yes, exactly.
And how Srijit spotted you? Like how did...
I don't know. I need to ask him that, because after that we did 3 projects together.
Exactly.
And so
Chilo Raja.
Yes,
also you did.
And I never asked how he got my name, but now I'm going to ask. And in fact, before Durga Puja, in the pre-Puja celebration, we went on a cruise, the Devi Chaudharani team. Sorry, the Raghu Dakat team. And it was beautiful to be on the river, but I also really enjoyed that experience because I got to sit down with Srijit and have a nice conversation with him after a long time.
Lovely.
He's such a wonderful guy, such a wonderful artist. And hopefully we'll work together soon, but more about that later.
True. But in both Raghu Dakat and Devi Chaudharani, I'm sure that you have been portrayed as a villainish character.
Why would you say I'm sure?
Because I have seen it and the storyline says so.
Oh, there you go.
Storyline says so. It's about the against of the British rule, whatever they did to us.
True.
But my question is, you have so much love for India, so much compassion for the people of India. Still, you have been portraying in such negative characters. Do you think it's fair?
No, it's not fair. Look, my film career is a blessing. I have done 60 or so films and series, out of which I would say half of them have been positive and half of them have been negative. For example, I had the privilege of working with one of the most beautiful Bengalis ever, Sushmita Sen, in a series called Arya. And in that series, I was a very, very good guy. More recently in Pule, a Hindi film, a very, very sympathetic character to the struggles of Jyotiba and Savitribai Phule, who were pioneers for education and women's rights in India. Mayor Charles, another great example of a very positive role. So I've had both. It just so happens that here in West Bengal, I tend to have more negative roles, which is fine, because it's a team effort. You know, the stronger, the more negative, the more powerful the antagonist is, the stronger the protagonist has to be. So I look at it as my duty to be as hated as possible by the audience.
Not really. I've been loved by the audience.
Well, loved by the audience, but the character itself has to be hated. And I love that about the Bengali audience. They're able to differentiate between the actor and the role. And I have received so much love here. If I hadn't received so much love here, after especially Golandaj, which was really a breakthrough for me, I probably wouldn't have come back. But the people have just been so wonderful, appreciating the performance, appreciating the role, and appreciating the actor, and of course appreciating the full film.
True.
And it's such an intelligent audience, I think, because and I've said this before, I believe Bengalis in their soul are artists. So they recognize art and they appreciate art.
Kolkata has been called the cultural capital of India.
Absolutely.
So they are, actually we are. We can take it proud of it.
You should be.
Anyway, you have been to various metro cities like Mumbai, Kolkata, Chennai. So how much warmth and love you have received from the different
Look, I receive warmth and love everywhere. And it's one of the reasons why I've made India one of my homes. As we chatted before, I live in Cape Town, South Africa, where I have a music career. I also live in Amsterdam, which is where I have family. And I live here in India, all over India. Even though my apartment is in Mumbai, I spend so much time here in Kolkata.
Oh, you bought an apartment in Mumbai?
Yes, well that's where I live most of the time. Only because, well, first of all, I love Mumbai. I love Amchi Mumbai, but also because it's so well connected to the rest of the country. I just came back before Puja, before coming to Kolkata. I was in Himachal. I was in Ladakh.
Oh my God!
Riding on the new Royal Enfield Classic, new Royal Enfield Himalayan 450 for 8 days, all around Leh, all around Ladakh, and riding over the new highest pass in the world, Umling La, which has just replaced Kardung La as the highest pass in the world. So my experience is not just limited to the metros, although I love Chennai, I love Kolkata, I love Mumbai, I love Delhi. I also love the interiors of India. And one of the privileges that I've had being an actor here in this amazing country is seeing so much of this beautiful country from north to south, east to west. And so what I've begun to do in the more recent years is I've started to venture out and see things even when I'm not shooting there.
You're so lovely. You're also a traveler, I must say.
Well, beer billing, for example. I took up paragliding in beer billing, and later on I got my paragliding license in South Africa, and I've flown all over the world. But it started here in India.
Have you ever thought about shifted permanently, like
to
changing
India?
your nationality to Indian?
That's harder than it sounds. Unless you have Indian ancestry, it is very, very difficult to become Indian. But I have to just be thankful for the fact that I have friends here, I have work here. I always have a reason to come back. And when I'm here, I have the opportunity to explore.
Of course. You worked with Dev, one of the most popular actor in Kolkata and
in the world.
Just tell me about him, the way you have seen Dev.
Well, look, when this film first came to me, I said, yes, I will do this movie as long as Dev looks deep into my eyes and sings to me once again. If you remember from Golandaj, we stood there on the field and Dev sung Vande Mataram directly into my eyes. And it was such an important moment for the film, but it was also just a wonderful moment to share with him. Unfortunately, as you have seen, he does not sing to me in this movie, but we did get to dance together. And what do I mean by dance? I mean stunts. Look, stunts are really more like dance than they are like fighting, because you have to coordinate, you have to make it look very aggressive, you have to make it look very tough and very hard, but really you're working together to create that moment. And so this time, as you've seen, Dave and I are jumping around in a pool of indigo water. Last time we were diving at each other on a football pitch. Who knows what will happen next time? But it's always a joy to work with Dave. He's an incredibly professional individual, but he's also a sweet guy. And I count him among one of my closest friends here in Kolkata, alongside Dhruva Banerjee, Somek Halder, and such a wonderful team put together, Golandaj and Raghu Dakat, that they're more than just colleagues, they are friends.
Of course. Now this is a tough question. If you have to choose between Dev and Bombada Prashanjit Chattopadhyay, whom will you choose?
Both.
No, this is very politically.
Look, I have to be very politically correct because they both bring to the screen such energy, such passion, such emotion, that if I was choosing one over the other, I'd instantly regret it. I can't. And it's been such a privilege to work with both of them in their element, in projects that they've chosen, that they've helmed, and that they have stood behind so incredibly forcefully. Devi Chowdharani is a film that Bombada has been wanting to make for a very long time. It's not just a film that he's playing a role in. Similar with Raghu Dakat. Dave really is Raghu Dakat. I mean, this is a film that he's been wanting to make forever. So as long as I continue to have the opportunity to do the films that they really want to do, and that they're not just, playing a role in, then I'll continue to enjoy working with both of them. And I hope that I will continue to work with both.
Of course, we're also hoping for it. But the thing is, see, India is a very diverse country. There are so many people, and we have a saying that Atithi Deva Bhava, we consider our guests as God, right? So I have been to various places. Have you ever felt any kind of discomfort in any part of India? I just want to
discomfort. Absolutely. I always lament the fact. No, but I'll tell you where my discomfort has come from. I always lament the fact that I can't speak with people as easily as I'd like to. I wish I could speak Punjabi, Marathi. I wish I could speak Bengali. And this is why, whether it's Hindi or Tamil or English or Bengali, every time I do a project, I try to learn more. And I always insist, whatever the language, if it's going to be dubbed, that I dub it myself. That's my way of at least trying to reach out and speak with people in the language that they're comfortable in. But what makes me so happy is that even when I'm trying so hard and doing so badly, people still appreciate the effort. And you know, it may be controversial, but I do believe that English does kind of unite the country. There's one language that so many people in this country speak, and that's English.
Speak, yeah.
And I'm so lucky that I can speak English, because I'm so bad at languages. If I had to learn another language to try to speak with people from north, south, east, and west, it would be a huge challenge. But I will continue to try to, at least in my films, to speak the best that I possibly can in the language of the audience.
Of course, of course.
And so really that's where I feel discomfort, because you know, my sister, and I don't talk a whole lot about my family, but my sister's a professional translator.
Oh.
So there is a gene in my ancestry for language. I just didn't get it. My sister did, my mom did, but I didn't get it. And so that's the thing that actually makes me the most upset, I would say, when you know, I can't communicate as well as I would like to.
They say that Mumbai is very hard for the outsider who is not from the Bollywood.
You mean Bollywood or Mumbai?
Not from the, they don't have any family lineage behind them. Have you ever faced any this kind of treatment?
इतना मुश्किल industry है, इतना intense industry है, और backing नहीं है मेरे, सिर्फ education है, experience है. थोड़ा talent है,
बहुत सारा,
लेकिन hard work is इतना ज़रूरत है, and it is the most important thing. Now, especially with OTT, whether that's Hoi Choi or Amazon or whatever, there are so many more opportunities. Naya actors ke liye. So if you don't have that film family backing, it's still possible, but it is very hard. You're not going to get as many opportunities, especially for someone like me, where there are not that many opportunities to begin with. But I am just thankful that I have gotten the opportunities that I have. Look, 60 films, having worked in this industry for almost 20 years, I continue to count myself lucky and have gratitude every day, because who knows, my next film might be my last. I hope not, but it might be.
Of course not. We don't want that. Anyway, so the thing is, people who are outside from India, they actually want to work for Bollywood. But what would be your advice to them, those who are young and not Indian, so-called?
Not Indian?
Yeah.
That's difficult. Look, the advice I always give is to do everything legally. And this has really come into the spotlight now because of what, you know, Mr. Trump is doing in the United States. You can never give anyone the opportunity to blackmail you or to push you out of the country or whatever. You need to do everything legally. So if you are watching this from abroad and you want to come to India, you need to make sure to sign up with an agency here that can get you a proper visa to work in films. It's not easy to do. I suppose I'm not really the right person to advise on these things, but suffice it to say, know your craft, study, get as much experience as you can, especially in theater. Theater is the best teacher. Do what I didn't do, learn the language. That's number 2. Good. And number 3, always do everything legally, because there's no sense in building a career that can just be taken away from you because you don't have the right visa or you haven't made sure to follow the law every step of the way. That's critically important. So that would be my 3-pronged bit of advice.
Before wrapping it up, we would like to ask you something personal.
Of course.
About your love life.
My love life?
Yeah, of course. Are you single right now?
No.
Oh, you're engaged, what?
I am actually married, but I don't talk so much about it, and I'll tell you why. You may be aware that I was married quite some time back.
We know that.
And I had a huge wedding, and my
in 2008,
yes, exactly, yeah.
Right? Yeah.
And
after Nach Baliye.
That's right.
Yeah.
And a bit after Nach Baliye.
Are you still connected with your ex?
I am not. I'm not. She actually left India. She now lives in New York.
She left India?
Yeah, and so it was a trade. Hopefully you feel like you got a good deal here. I don't know.
She was Indian, right?
She is. Yeah, she is Indian.
She is Indian.
But you know, what I realized was, and it wasn't her fault. It wasn't my fault. It wasn't the media's fault. But I feel like I put too much out there, and I think that it's important. And I mentioned a moment ago, I don't talk a whole lot about my family because there are some things you just want to keep, you know, for yourself. I'm very much in love with my wife. Extremely happy. She's not Indian.
Oh, okay.
It gets very complicated. She's actually German.
Oh.
But we met in India and we started dating in South Africa. It's very complicated.
You have been coming to Kolkata for so many years.
I have, yeah.
Just tell us about how do you see the Bengali girls?
Well, now that I'm married, I tend to see them professionally when I'm making films with them. No, look, you know, Bengali women, yourself, Sushmita Sen, so many other beautiful, beautiful Bengali women are in the industry. There's no doubt that that they have a captivating presence, and I love watching Bengali films, especially the films that I work on, and I'm always you know, fascinated. You know, Isha, for example, in Golandaj, was
Isha Shaha.
Yeah, it was just absolutely
She's very
stunning.
Pretty.
Such mysterious eyes and such a beautiful performance.
Do you have any crush on any Bengali actress?
Yeah, I'm not allowed to say these things.
Okay.
My wife is going to be watching this interview, so absolutely not. Look, it's hard not to have a crush on everyone you work with, and I mean that for Dave as well as Bambada, everyone that I work with, because you're engaged in telling stories that are so emotional.
Right.
You know, so the connection that you forge is more than just friends. It's more than, you know, you get together with friends, you go have a beer, you get together with friends, maybe you play a board game or you go bowling or something. Yeah, those friendships are great, and you know, stretched out over 10 years, they become very, very strong.
Right.
The funny thing is when you make art with someone, I think you come together much more strongly, much more quickly. And even though you don't see each other every day, that relationship could be potentially called a crush. So I have a lot of crushes, men and women, all of, and I'm sure that's going to be the headline, men and women all over the industry. But yeah, it's because I have an emotional connection to the folks that I make art with, and it's a wonderful thing to have. And if you haven't experienced that in your life, it doesn't take making movies to do it. You know, go out, make crafts, engage in extreme sports. That's also another way,
right,
to forge really strong bonds. Yeah, art is not just for those of us that do it professionally.
Right. And if you was for the people of West Bengal, especially Kolkata and other.
Absolutely. I found that even, you know, people working in a bank, people working at a petrol pump, everyone here is an artist. People will break out into song, a dance. You know, I've gone to house parties here where, you know, at midnight or so, the music gets switched off and then someone starts performing dance. It's absolutely amazing that everyone, despite what they do, is in their heart an artist, able to recite poetry, able to paint, able to dance, able to sing. And I find that wonderful.
Do you know any Hindi song?
Do I know any Hindi songs?
Yeah.
Well, actually, so I released a song in Sanskrit called a Bhagavad Gita song. I can recite the Bhagavad Gita for you. But you'll have to go to Alexx Music on YouTube or any of the streaming platforms here in India. All of them have my music. I've released 7 songs so far, and I'm headed back to South Africa to release my 8th. All of them are English, except one in Sanskrit. It's because when I was working with Sushmita, on Arya, Ram Madhvani's series, I memorized shlokas from the Bhagavad Gita in order to perform them. And one of my favorites goes like this. Ya enam veti hantaram yaschainam manyate hatam o bautau navijanito Nayam hanti na hanyate.
Oh my God, that is so excellent, Alex.
Thank you very
must
much.
say.
My Sanskrit instructor will not be happy with my performance.
But we are.
Well, thank you very much.
Definitely. Thank you so much for the time, and thank you so much coming to our office.
Thank
today.
you. It's been an absolute pleasure. It's been wonderful to chat with you about Devi Chaldarani, about
And
Raghu
Raghu
Dakat, and my journey. Thank you so much for welcoming me to your beautiful
And
studio.
all the very best for your future endeavor.
Thank you.
ক্যামেরা বিশ্বদীপের সঙ্গে বিহঙ্গী, দ্য ওয়াল, কলকাতা।